ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ श्री सद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ ध्यायामि चिन्मयानन्दं गुरुदेवं महामतिं प्रेमपूर्णं क्रियाशीलं सदा लोकहिते रतं कृपालुं सुन्दराकारं समर्थं सत्यदर्शिनं वाचा तत्त्वप्रकाशिन्या शोकमोहविनाशिनम्। ॐ श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। ॐ नमो नारायणाय। 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 ॐ हृतगं सत्यं परं ब्रह्म पुरुषं कृष्णपिङ्गलम् ऊर्ध्वरेतं विरूपाक्षं विश्वरूपाय वै नमो नमः। ॐ नारायणाय विद्महे वासुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विष्णुः प्रचोदयात्। हरि ओं सुप्रभातम्। ॐ शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। ॐ शान्ताकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभांगं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिहृद्ध्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णुं भवभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथम्। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। 28 ॐ वृषाहि वृषभो विष्णुर्वृषपर्वा वृषोदरः वर्धनो वर्धमानश्च विविक्तश्रुतिसागरः सुभुजो दुर्धरो वाग्मी महेन्द्रो वसुदो वसुः नैकरूपो बृहद्रूपः शिपिविष्टः प्रकाशनः ओजस्तेजोद्युतिधरः प्रकाशात्मा प्रतापनः ऋद्धस्पष्टाक्षरो मन्त्रश्चन्द्रांशुर्भास्करद्युतिः अमृतांशूद्भवो भानुः शशबिन्दुः सुरेश्वरः औषधं जगतः सेतुः सत्यधर्मपराक्रमः. We were in this shloka. We have completed the first 4 namas. Amritamshudbhavah, Bhanuhu, Shashabinduhu, Sureshwaraha. And today we will take up the next 3. The 287th nama, Aushadham. It will be very interesting to know why Bhagavan is called as Aushadham. Because Aushadhi, what we understand, are nothing but medicines. What are medicines? Medicines are those which balances the discomfort in a person physically and occasionally mentally also medicines are used. But why is this given? The first karanam for Aushadhi is the imbalance at the physical level when there is a disease. And what is a disease? A disease is that by which I am at dis-ease. We have seen this earlier also. Where I am not at ease, where there is something which disturbs me, agitates me, where there is pain, where there is suffering, there the medicines are prescribed. These medicines are prescribed, and particular medicines are prescribed to set right that which has a dosha. What is dosha? Dosha is something which is wrong in the system. Something which is wrong in the system which causes discomfort. Like for example, there are some deficiencies like calcium deficiency, iron deficiency, sodium deficiency, potassium deficiency, ityadi. And there is some headache, there is some stomach pain, there are body pains, there are neurological disorders, there is some orthopedic disorder, or we may have met with an accident or fallen down, ityadi. So many karanams are there for a man to experience discomfort, and there is a disease in him. To set right that disease, a treatment is prescribed. And the treatment, the medicines are basically made out of normally plants and roots. Oshadhi. Plants and roots are used to make medicines, and medicine. This were the way it was done earlier. Now also the so-called allopathic medicines, the base content would be nothing but essence of the plants and roots alone. This being the case, medicines are prescribed with a certain prescription. Let us suppose I have some pain in my body, some back pain and neck pain and things like that. There is a lot of discomfort. Therefore, they prescribe some ibuprofen, paracetamol tablets, Imol, Flexon, and then Dolo 650. Ityadi. So many medicines are there. It depends on the doctor, and it depends on the representative who met the doctor and given him proper gifts and etc. Doctor would prescribe a medicine. The content of the medicine will be these: ibuprofen. And then the doctor says, take this tablet for 3 days. 1-1-1. And then he puts 3 and then circles that 3. What does that mean? Morning, afternoon, night for 3 days. That means I have to consume 9 tablets. Now, if I think 9 tablets, if I consume, all my problem will be solved, and take all the 9 tablets and consume immediately, then I will be in more problem. Is it not? I am not supposed to consume the 9 tablets together. I am supposed to consume according to the prescription. The prescription also is given according to dosage. They call it as a course, 5 days course, ityadi. All this is because of what? There is a discomfort in me, and to saturate that discomfort in such a fashion that I will become normal again. The balance will become normal again, and I will be able to function in the world outside without pain. This is the purpose of a medicine. Similarly, medicines are again used to balance the mental disorders. So like that, we know medicines are to balance. Now, what is actually the meaning of etymological meaning of Aushadham? In Sanskrit it is said, Oshati doshan dhatte gunan. Oshati doshan, that which removes that dosha, that cause of the problem. Oshati doshan dhatte gunan. Dhatte guna means what? That which adds guna, that which adds the required balance, and then brings in harmony. What is harmony? Physical harmony, and wherever required, even mental harmony. So many psychological patients have to use medicines to balance the mind, to quieten the mind. Think. Whenever there is such imbalance, there is so much of disturbance around. They create disturbance or people create disturbance. So, Oshati doshan dhatte gunan aushadham. Today's medicine, with due respects, very many people get offended when we talk about medicines, when we talk about hospitals, when we talk about doctors. People get affected. People who are sincere, people who are working with dharma, people who are working for the sake of the society, people who are working sincerely to remove the pain and suffering of the patient and not to fill their pocket, those people need not worry. Bhagavan will protect you. The discussion here is the people who are making money, who are minting money, who are making an opportunity to fill their pockets and bags in the name of scaring the patient and not giving the right medicines. It is unfortunate. Even the pharmaceuticals company, for the sake of improving their medicines, they make medicines and they always have side effects. The medicines are not made appropriately to such an extent that the problem, the dosha, is completely eradicated in the patients. The medicines give so much of imbalance. Actually, instead of setting right the balance, they create other imbalances. If there is a stomach pain and I take a medicine, then I get a headache. If I take a medicine for the headache, then I have some back pain. Like this, side effects happen, seems to be more than the actual pain. That is why probably somebody said, the doctors, please remember, I am not against the doctors. I am not against hospitals. I am not against treatment. I want them to be done for the sake of the patients in mind. Think. The doctors, they give medicines, no doubt, and they want their patients to be permanent in their clinic. What does that mean? A right doctor should make the patient not come back. Today we have such hospitals. I myself have experienced this. In fact, It is not an exaggeration, it is a fact. My own friend, my classmate, went to a very big hospital, let me not mention the hospital, with some just simple, some headache or some small pain he went. Finally, he was told that he has got cancer. And they gave a bill of around 2.5 lakhs for which he had to loan from many people and then pay. And when he comes back, it was not at all a cancer. In the process, his mother, who had such a mental disturbance because of the son having cancer, she died out of heart attack. This has happened in my own life, in my own friend's life. Just because they have to increase the bill. Think. There are hospitals who are not ready to give the body of the patient to the families because they cannot pay the bill. Think. Where has all morality gone? Therefore, aushadham is to remove the pain and not give pain. Doctor gives pills to cure. Doctor cures the patients with pills and kills him with bills. This is a very oft quoted statement. Think. Talk of corona. Initially, when the corona had attacked our country, there was so many doctors who said, ask the people who are not, who have fallen ill, ask them to take paracetamol and quietly lie down without running around. They will be cured. And many patients did that and they were completely cured. Over a period of time, there were so many disturbances, and in the disturbance, in the midst of disturbances, so many doctors made lot of money. So many hospitals which were in debt. In fact, death also, so many hospitals are closed also. So many hospitals which were in debt became profitable organizations. By what? Charging the patient left, right and center. There are so many instances where the patient had no problem, but the doctors created a scene that the patient had so much of problem and then milked lot of money and then sent him with some vitamin tablets and some basic injections, saline, etc., etc. Think. It is not something new which is happening. All of us know it is happening everywhere. So what is required is that aushadham which actually cures the patient. And what is that aushadham? That which removes the dosha. Not create one more. Not create side effects. Think. Why am I talking all this? Only to make you understand how we have, moved from that morality-based life to total immorality-based life. Even in the field of medicine. Therefore, what is medicine? Medicine is that which should end the pain. One standpoint. The another standpoint is where the cause cannot be eradicated. Where the cause cannot be removed, then the patients are given such medicines to subdue the effects and remove the external pain as such. So these are all various stages. All cannot be brought into one framework in medication. But the idea here is medication, aushadham, is that by which the patient is brought to rest properly and not suffer. Right? Then the question is, which is the best medicine? For any pain and suffering, Bhagavan is the best medicine. There cannot be a better doctor and there cannot be a better medicine than Bhagavan. That is why he is called Aushadham. Now look at Acharya's commentary. Samsara roga bheshajatvat aushadham. Bhagavan is such a medicine who kills, who removes the ultimate disease in a human being, which is samsara roga. And there cannot be any other better roga than samsara roga. Other roga, body pain, etc., little medicine, little rest, and little proper dieting and some exercise, we can come out of it. Some yoga, we can come out of the physical disease. The major disease is the mental disease. What is mental disease here? The disease which brings so much of suffering and pain out of samsara bandhana. Where is it born out of? Born out of the identification with this body and the attachment with this body and the attachment which happens thereof with all that which is associated with this body. With reference to this body is mother and father, brother and sister. With reference to this body alone is wife and children. Think. In the movies and places where they, overdo in exaggeration of all the relationships, etc., all belong only up till the body. Once the body is gone, no relationship. In fact, even while the body is alive, there is no actual relationship to anyone. If at all there is any relationship, it is only with Bhagavan. There are only two relationships in life. One is Bhagavan, another is Bhakta. The rest all are ephemeral. Rest all are, those which will drag you away from the main path of human's life. The main path of a human life is reaching Bhagavan alone. Think. Therefore, samsara roga bheshajatvat, the one who removes all the samsara roga. What is born of aushadhis, plants and herbs are called as aushadam. The plants and herbs is at the physical level and the mental level, but at the higher level, Bhagavan alone is the aushadam. Therefore, Bhagavan cures the disease of samsara bandhana. Next question: how can Bhagavan cure my disease? After all, I have never seen him at all. When will he give and how will he give me the medicines? The best medicine is quietude of mind. And how do we get it? With the medicine of the Namasmarana of Bhagavan alone. Therefore, taking the Namasmarana of Bhagavan, one forgets the bandhana of the world, bandhana of samsara, and the mind is constantly associated with Bhagavan, and such a mind which is constantly associated with Bhagavan have no time for samsara bandhana. Why are we getting involved in samsara? Because we have not used the time properly to think of Bhagavan, and we are only thinking about all and sundry things and beings of life. Dhyayataha vishayan pumsaha pranashyati. Think. Therefore, the best aushadam is Bhagavan. Take the name of the Lord. Sing the name of the Lord. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnoho, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam. All, so many are given forward. Somewhere, wherever I can connect, let me connect and think of Him alone. Namasmaranat anya upayam nahi pashyamo bhavatarane. Therefore, the best aushadhi is Namasmarana, and another best aushadhi is Bhagavan himself. Therefore, Bhagavan is both aushadhi and the destination of life. Both are Bhagavan only. Therefore, he is called as aushadham. And the next nama is Jagataha Setuhu. What is Setu? Setu has got three meanings. The first meaning is bridge. That which helps us cross from one shore to the other shore, from one end to the other end. And the second meaning is boundary. What is boundary? An area which is marked and the area which cannot be crossed, which should not be crossed. And the third one is very interesting. Setu also means bank. What is that? Now see, Jagatam Samuttarani Hetutvat. He is the one who makes us cross with the bridge, as a bridge from samsara to through sadhana to the destination. What is the destination? He himself is the destination. And I have displayed here, the word Setu has three meanings: bridge, boundary and bank. What is that? For the entire Jagat, Bhagavan is like a Setu. How? A bridge to cross the river of samsara. As a boundary in the form of dharma, one should not cross dharma. Therefore, the same Setu is known as a boundary, and as the bank of moksha that is to be reached. That is a final destination. Therefore, Bhagavan is the Setu. What is this bridge which that crosses the samsara? The bridge is sadhana, shastra and guru. The guru takes us to the other end. The guru becomes a kevat. We see this in Ramayana. The kevat, who is a kevat? Boatman. He takes Bhagavan Ramchandraji from this shore to the other shore. And when Bhagavan wanted to give him, he says, Bhagavan, we should not take anything from a person who does the similar work. I take people from this shore to the other shore through this boat. You take people from this life to that supreme place. You cross from samsara to Bhagavan, and that is the boat. Both of us that way are boatman only. Therefore, a boatman cannot take anything from another boatman. In the world also there is some called, not everybody follow. A barber who wants to cut his own hair goes to another barber, and barber won't take money from each other. This was there earlier, now I don't know. Think. He crosses the river of samsara, who? Bhagavan, and therefore he is called as Setuhu. Jagataha Setuhu. Jagat is what? Samsara. Without samsara there is no Jagat. The moment Jiva is born, the Jiva is born out of samsaratvam, out of limitation. And once Jiva is born, Jagat is there. And then there is one Ishvara. Think. Therefore, Jagataha Setuhu. He crosses us crosses the river of samsara, helps us cross the river of samsara. Boundary in the form of dharma. Dharma is what we ought to follow, what we have to follow, however difficult it may be, however painful it may be, however suffering it may give, we ought to follow dharma. But what happens? There are so many factors involved in this. Human finds following dharma is not the right way because it gives us pain, and people even talk loudly. Oh, if you follow dharma and stuff like that, you can't survive in this world. In any case, you don't survive. One day or the other, you have to go. But if you don't follow dharma, punarapi jananam, punarapi varanam. Karma, karma phala, death, janana. This cycle will go on. But when I follow dharma, I am within the boundary of dharma, then the same dharma will protect me. Dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. Therefore, as a boundary, Bhagavan himself stands as dharma. Then if Bhagavan himself stands as dharma, how are we crossing the dharma? This is our useless capacities. We use our intelligence, we use our abilities, we use our capacities only for pleasure. And for which we are ready to cross the boundary of dharma. And Bhagavan will also allow you to go and then punish you severely, so that you run back into the fold. Think. Therefore, he remains as the boundary in the form of dharma. As the bank of moksha, he is the ultimate bank, where we have to deposit ourselves there. We cannot deposit our things and beings. So, Bhagavan, all these things I am depositing in my next life, you please return all of them. I will withdraw. We have to deposit ourselves, and he will only give ourselves back if we are not a Jivan Mukta. Therefore, Jagataha Setuhu, when it is said, Bhagavan himself is the Setu. Therefore, surrender unto him. Satya Dharma Parakramaha, another beautiful name. Parakramaha is the one who has got valor, who has got strength, who has got the ability to face the challenge of life. And what is that he faces? He uses dharma and he faces the world, the challenges, through what? Satyam. Here, Satyam is what? Satyam is that sincere, complete commitment to dharma. And such a person who completely commits to dharma sincerely without any fake attitudes, without being a fake, legitimate life, when one follows, such a dharma will protect him. How it will protect you, we don't know. That Bhagavan knows, he will do it. That is why it is said, Tum rachak kahun ko darna. Tum rachak kahun ko darna, you just don't utter those words and then do whatever you want. Then Bhagavan will not come. Our own karma will penalize us, it will punish us. But when we work according to dharma, without any fakeness, without any illegitimate action, when we follow satyam, when we follow dharma, then that will make us strong. Strong where? Internally. Our Atma Bala will become strong. When our Atma Bala is stronger the Balam, weaker will be all the demands for pleasures and enchantments of life. Our own inner quietude will become stronger and stronger, and that quietude will make our intellect sharper, and when the intellect is sharper, again it will help in discriminating properly. Therefore, Satya Dharma Parakramaha, when it is said, Bhagavan is that Parakrami. Bhagavan is that great, powerful person who is Dharma, who is Satyam, and those who follow both Satyam and Dharma with Satyam, they become Parakrami, and they will experience that Bhagavan in their own inner self. And it is Bhagavan himself who is Satyam and Dharma. Therefore, Bhagavan is also called Satya Dharma Parakramaha. Satyaha avitatha dharmaha jnanadayaha gunaha parakramascha yasya saha Satya Dharma Parakramaha. The one who champions, Gurudev uses this word, who champions heroically for truth and righteousness. for Satyam and Dharma. Moving on to the next shloka. Bhuta bhavya bhavannatha pavanah pavano nalah kamaha kamakritkantah kamah kamapradah prabhu. Bhagavan is described with 10 namas in this shloka. We will see. The first one, the 290th nama is Bhuta Bhavya Bhavannatha. He is a Natha of Bhuta, past, Bhavya, future, and Bhavat, the present. In all the 3 periods of time, Bhagavan alone is the Lord. Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat, all these 3 belongs to the Samsari, the Jiva. And Jiva definitely had a past but need not have a future if only it can cross this river of samsara and make himself a Jivan Mukta. Until then, there has to be a Lord, and Bhagavan alone is the Supreme Lord. Meaning, He is the one who is beyond the concept of time, and time exists in Bhagavan. Bhagavan does not exist in time. Now see, Bhuta Bhavya Bhavatam Bhuta Gramanam Natah. He is that the explanation here is incorrect. We will show this slide tomorrow again with changing the explanation. But what does this mean? Bhuta Bhavya Bhavatam Bhuta Gramanam Natah. Not only the past, present and future, and all those who live in these 3 periods of time, He is the Supreme Lord. This of course we have discussed it several times in so many very namas. Taihi nathyate yachyate. Taihi nathyate. Nathyate meaning what? The one who is the Lord, who commands, who rules. What? Taihi. Taihi here refers to the past, present and future, the one who rules. Yachyate is a very important word. Yachanam does not mean begging. Here it changes the meaning. Yachyate here refers to being associated with the change of time, and even in the change of time, He alone is Natha. He alone is the Supreme Lord. Tan upatapati. Here Tan upatapati means what? When people are attached to time, when people are attached to body, when people are attached to samsara, people who do not cross over the time and understand that they are beyond time, for them He torments to discipline them. People who are attached to whims and fancies, people who are attached to kala, desha and kala, for them He torments as though, we have to put a word there, as though torments, for what? To discipline the mind and make the mind understand that one is beyond all these time factor, one is beyond body, mind and intellect. Tebhyah ashaste. And for who are associated with sadhana, one who associates himself with dharma, one who associates himself with jnanam under a guru and understands the supreme nature of that Bhagavan, for him he is nothing but great Lord who blesses such person who are in the path of Parabrahma Swarupa Paramatma and wants to go across, go beyond the concept of past, present and future. Shasati va Natah. Shasati meaning what? The one who guides through dharma. One who guides. Shasanat Shastraha, it is said. Shasanath meaning what? The one who brings right guidelines. Bhagavan is the one in the form of Shastra, in the form of Veda, in the form of Grantha, and in the form of a Guru who comes and guides everybody. Towards what? Towards that supreme goal of human life, the very purpose of human life. Therefore, Natha is one who has to do all this, who has to bless, who has to guide, and wherever it is required to be a guide with a stick. We always had seen teachers with a stick. So people get afraid of that stick. But if I am walking properly in the path of dharma, stick cannot do anything. Stick will not do anything. And Bhagavan only bless. So such a Bhagavan is called Bhuta Bhavya Bhavannataha. Tesham Ishte. Ishte means to rule over. To all those who are good, he rules over with blessings. To all who are not in the path, he punishes them and brings them in the track of dharma and then blesses them also. In fact, punishing them also is blessing only. Like how the parents would punish the child if the child does wrong, Bhagavan punishes us, not for the sake of any sadist behavior or not for the sake of any krodha or dvesha, etc., but again with love to bring us into the path. So with all this, Bhuta Bhavya Bhavannataha, Bhagavan is explained. Now comes Pavanaha. Pavanaha means air, breeze. So Pavana Devata, Bhagavan Shri Hanumanji. Pavana Sutta. He said Pavana Sutta. Sutta meaning what? The son of Pavan Devata. What is this Pavana? Pavate iti Pavanaha. What is Pavate? One who purifies and sanctifies. Pavana, air, is always an agent of purification. In fact, when we have some, let us say, if there is a room where there is no ventilation, you will have lot of foul smell. We have one Acharya here, Param Pujya Swami Brahmananji of Chinmaya Mission, Bangalore. The moment he goes to any house, the first thing, even before sitting, he will see whether all the windows are all open, whether door is open. Door, of course, because he has entered. The windows, all the windows should be open. If it is not open, he will not tell them open the windows. He himself will go and open the windows. Why? Fresh air is required. Why is this fresh air required? Air purifies. Air removes all the, we may say, smell or stink or whatever, but what is it? How does it do? The very presence of fresh air purifies the place. Therefore, Pavana is that which purifies. Pavanaha Pavatamasmi, Bhagavan says in the Bhagavad Gita. I am that purifying air. In the air, I am that purifying factor. Earlier we saw Balam Balavatam Tejas Tejasvinamaham, Buddhir Buddhimatamasmi. And here he says, Pavanaha Pavatamasmi. I am the purifying agent through the air, in the air. Therefore, he is called Pavanaha. Pavanaha. One is Pavanaha. What is Pavanaha? Pavayati iti Pavanaha. The one who makes everything move. Pavana here means that which makes things move. And in the air also, when the air's full breeze comes, everything goes away. In fact, you have to hold on your clothes and everything. Otherwise, even the clothes will lift up. Is it not? Air is that which makes movement possible. Therefore, Pavayati iti Pavanaha. And then comes Analaha. Anala means what? Agni. What is Agni? Na alam Paryaptam asya vidyate iti analaha. Now this particular nama, anala, has got beautiful, wonderful meanings which we will see tomorrow. Alright, because now the time is up and it requires a little bit of discussion. We will see that tomorrow. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.